Day number 3 here in Cascais. We reach the midpoint of the regatta today. We also reach the midpoint of the season. Who's going to win the regatta? Well, that's going to be decided in the next couple of days. Who's going to win the season? Well, nobody is prepared to commit. It's all bets are off. It's so close.
Too tight.
Can't remember that it has been so close so far.
We're going to do our very best, but there's some very good teams here.
Professor, Quantum, Platoon, Azura, all bets are off. Yeah, I wouldn't like to say.
We all want to be in that position, but it's too early to say.
So many things could happen. You break a mast, you break a kite.
It's all on the line.
Race 5. The breeze is as strong as it's been all regatta, 25 knots at the windward mark. Same on the start line. Azura win the start, are quickest off the line. Prefezza get away nicely, get out to the right, and Quantum pick their time to go right in the big waves. They lead at the top mark. They're surfing away to a big lead. Prefezza are second from Platoon. Down the first run, Quantum stretch away. Azura jibe early and lose out. But through the finish line, that big lead is with Quantum Racing. Second are Prefezza, third Brunello. So at the midpoint of the regatta, Quantum Racing firing on all cylinders, lead by 8 points. Such a contrast with Puerto Sherry last month.
The guys did a really good job today. I mean, it was challenging conditions for the rest of the course and had some amazingly fun downwind legs. A lot of water flying around and I think maybe some new top speeds downwind. I think we were over 25 a couple of times.
Race 6, the breeze is quite up and down. Just before the start, we're probably 17-18 knots off the line. It's a very even start. Phoenix start at the pin end of the line as is following their strategy. They get a little bit of a lefty early on and they take their gain to cross the fleet and lead at the top mark. So Phoenix first, Azura second, Brunello third, Quantum Racing down in fourth. Phoenix extend in the waves downwind, great sailing conditions, and then at the top of the second beat, Phoenix still leading. A little bit funky and fluky for the top third of the beat, 60-degree wind shifts. Phoenix hold their nerve, and down the run they still have that lead. Azura and Brunello catching up just a little bit, but having lost out yesterday, this time Phoenix get through the line to make a big win for Hasso-Plattner, his first of this 52 Super Series.
And we made another jibe just in front of the finishing line.
The old days in the 505.
I would say like the old days in the IOR, when I could sail with these Olympic champions on par. Yeah, that was a little bit the proof.
Well, after 6 fantastic races here in Cascais, Quantum Racing lead on 12 points, second are Azura on 18 points, and third, Brunello on 23. Well, without a doubt, the best days racing so far this regatta in Cascais. Strong winds, big surfing conditions, big win for Quantum Racing, and a really special win for Hasso-Plattner on the team on Phoenix. We're over halfway through the regatta. Quantum Racing absolutely on fire. Will they be the top dogs at the prize giving on Saturday? Penultimate day of the regatta here in Cascais, and guess what? Yeah, it's windy. 2 good races expected today. Quantum Racing have that little lead. They haven't won a regatta yet. Can they do it under pressure?
It's been hard, it's been windy and the boat's been bouncing around a lot and downwind, and we stick the bow in and the wave comes back, and it's been a little tough to hang on.
For a bowman is not that difficult. Physically it's tough because you have to hang on pretty well on the bow. Everything is loaded a lot more. It's tough.
Well, the fleet went afloat in 30 knots of breeze, but very quickly it dropped away. Thereafter there was a 2.5 hour delay waiting for the wind to build enough to go racing. When it went, we had about 10, 11 knots on the start line. Allegra started very nicely, 2 up from the pin end of the line along with Phoenix. Brunner second, Prefezza go right early on, but at the top of the beat it's very shifty. There's 35 degrees of difference in the wind angles. So the top mark, first is Allegra, second Azura, third Platoon, Phoenix in fourth, Quantum Racing down in fifth after getting stuck in a light patch. Allegra's jibe set and they gain immediately. Quantum Racing also go early and they recover a couple of places. But on the second beat, Platoon tack too close to Quantum and have to take a penalty and drop back. Finish line then, it's a win for Allegra, the 6th boat to win a race here in Cascais. Second are Azura, third are Quantum Racing.
Very good regatta, we trusted in the left and it was very open until the last moment at the top mark, and then we had a very good mark rounding. We went back to the way we wanted and we gained a lot. We said, well, your race.
Definitely a nice win, and it was a good battle with Azura, so it was good fun. It feels good. It would be nice to get one in the heavy stuff as well.
We're just thinking about the season and just trying to close the gap on Azura. We're sailing well this week, and so we got to ride that confidence a little bit and just see what tomorrow brings and try and just keep doing what we've been doing.
And the standings going into the final day, well, Quantum Racing lead on 15 points, 5 points clear of Azura, who are second on 20. Then Platoon are third on 30, Brunello fourth on 30, and Phoenix 31 points in fifth. Well, as we say, variety is the spice of life, and a lighter day after 3 days of strong winds, over 20 knots every day. Today it was only 10 or 11 and very shifty. Quantum Racing lead into the final day here in Cascais. Can they close out their first regatta title of the season? Well, a final day here in Cascais. The breeze has been up since the early morning. It's going to be windy through 2 races. Can Quantum Racing close out their first regatta win of the season?
Tension's always high when the breeze is up. I love it. The breeze is my favourite. It's what I sort of grew up in. We got great conditions yet again. We're looking forward to it. We got a good day ahead of us.
Well, race 8 is 25 to 26 knots and big seas, northwesterly wind once again. Allegra start off the pin end and lead round the top mark along with Phoenix, who'd started second from the pin. Brunello jibe early at the windward mark and break away. They lead with Azura, who also jibed early, and at the leeward gate is Brunello leading with Azura. Phoenix drop their kite in the water and lose themselves out of contention. Brunello win means all 7 boats have now won a race in Cascais. So Quantum Racing start the final race with a lead of 4 points for the regatta. Provezza start off the pin end of the line and can cross the fleet early. They lead all the way round. Azura are second. It all goes down to the final run. Azura gain down the right side. Provezza are going head to head with Platoon. Platoon gaining, come through the finish line, just pipping Azura by a couple of metres. And so Quantum Racing win the regatta.
Tough conditions. I mean, it was windy at times today. I think we had some good 30 knot gusts and it was some unreal racing. Wow, this fleet's tight. The whole fleet sail these boats to an unbelievable level. We lost a few more points on Azura today, but overall we're pretty pleased. So small victory this week, but there's 2 more events with a big goal at the end of that.
So the final standings, Quantum Racing win on 23 points, Azura just a single point behind on 24, and Platoon third on 35 points. A great week in Cascais, winds blowing every day, big surf, and a great win for Quantum Racing, their first of the season. Now we go to Puerto Portals, back to high summer and sea breezes. Join us there.